What's going on, guys? So today I want to talk about a very gray topic, anxiety recovery. I think anxiety recovery in general is very, very gray. Everybody has their own definition. I'll share with you what I believe anxiety recovery is. I think it's okay to have different opinions because I don't think it's clear cut, right? So the general question I'm going to be talking about, or topic, is how do you know when you fully recovered from anxiety disorder? Okay, so my definition of recovery, full recovery, is when you recover consciously and subconsciously. You've actually fully rewired. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't get anxiety disorder to resurface again in your life if you don't keep your foundation, if you don't stick with the lifestyle changes that you put in place to recover from your anxiety disorder. And also, I believe that it basically means that you don't have the criteria of the anxiety disorder that you previously suffered from. For instance, you don't meet the criteria for panic disorder. Well, okay, then we can say that you recovered from panic disorder. You don't meet the criteria for health anxiety or generalized anxiety disorder. I believe that that means that you've, at least temporarily, you've recovered from that, right? You've done enough rewiring. You've gotten over your fears, you faced your fears, your triggers, your associations, you broke them all down. Your subconscious now feels like you are safe. The symptoms have gone away. That period of sensitivity that can linger has gone away. But I don't believe you're going to know the second or the minute or even the day, possibly even the week, that you fully recover from anxiety. Now, that may be different when it comes to recovering consciously. So I believe that there's two parts to this. First, you recover consciously before you recover subconsciously, which means your subconscious just has to catch up with all the right things that you're doing. You have the routine, you're doing your exposure, you're finally not afraid. You're able to even ignore these symptoms. You have your full awareness and knowledge as to what's going on. And now the subconscious just has to learn to trust you and catch up. So I believe that there is a possibility that you can know the day that you recover consciously, where you're like, I'm not afraid of this crap anymore. And eventually, subconscious, you're going to believe me and trust me. But now it's like you have this new life. You have this foundation. You have this routine. You understand the importance of embracing being uncomfortable. You understand the importance of facing your fears. You've learned how to process and handle what's happened in your past that led to that anxiety disorder. Now the subconscious is just kind of holding on to that last 15, 20, 25, 30%, waiting to see if you really mean business. And then whenever that happens, that's whenever you have the full recovery, in my opinion. Does that mean that this can't come back? I mean, if you've fully recovered and you rewired and everything and you stick to your guns, then you can keep it away. But maybe you still technically are more vulnerable to this thing coming back, right? So you just have to make sure that you keep everything in place that helped you recover the first time. And luckily, that's something that I've been able to do. I think something that helps me personally is helping you guys. It keeps me true. It keeps me honest. You know what I mean? I'm going to do the things that I'm asking you guys to do. I'm going to make my lifestyle be what it needs to be conductive for continued recovery. You know what I mean? So I don't ever go back or relapse or anything like that. So in a nutshell, like, I don't think you're going to actually technically know when you make the full recovery. You can know the day that you decide that you're not afraid anymore, where you recover consciously, and that all your actions going forward are going to be this new way of living, a new life, a new lifestyle, and your subconscious will play catch up. But that full recovery where you fully rewire and your subconscious is finally okay, it lets go, the symptoms are pretty much gone. We got an airplane somewhere over here. But the symptoms are gone, your sensitivity has worn off, and you've even been tested by a few life adversities. So for instance, in my life, I think there were a couple months that passed by where I hadn't felt anything. I wasn't sensitive anymore. I wasn't afraid of any of the things that I was afraid, of before. My associations finally broke down. I wasn't getting anxious in these spots that I used to get anxious in. I've made lifestyle changes. I have a new way of living, a new way of thinking. I've been positive for months now, still have this routine in place. And then one day I was just like, man, I must have fully recovered at some point in the past couple months or the last 3 months. But you just don't know what day or time. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't look for that. Just believe that it's going to happen. Embrace being uncomfortable. Change your life. Stick with a routine. You know what I mean? And it will come to you. And there'll be this point where you're like, I've been good for like a month now. Like, wow, maybe I've fully recovered, right? So it's not a day and night type thing, you know. Maybe on a conscious recovery level, you finally realize, like, I'm not afraid anymore. Possibly you can detect the day or the week that happened. But I think for the full rewiring process, it happens very, very slowly. That's why I've been telling you guys over the past few videos, we gotta start thinking months instead of days or weeks. You will always be disappointed, if you are expecting something to change within days or just even a few weeks. It takes time. So stop expecting these changes to happen overnight. So please stick with these things, be consistent. If you've watched this far, go down below in the comment section, and in all caps, I want you to put, recovery doesn't happen overnight. Recovery doesn't happen overnight. So hopefully I was able to clear up somewhat of a gray topic on how do you know when you fully recovered from anxiety. I don't believe you know the exact second, minute, hour, or day, or even week when that happens. I think it's after you've had a couple good months and you finally are like, okay, I think I'm done with this, right? I'm done with this. And I talked about a routine, I talked about strategy, I talked about lifestyle. All these things have to come together to actually recover, a perspective change. You have to face your fears. You have to embrace being uncomfortable. If you're ready for that step, you know, in your journey, then try out my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. It's helping so many people. I want you to be a part of that as well. Super affordable. I'll put the link down in the description and in the first pinned comment for that. One-on-one coaching. If you want to do one-on-one coaching calls with me, you can reach out to me via email. I'll put my email down there. I'll send you my information. There's online therapy if you've never tried therapy. All my other socials are down there. And until next time, guys, keep fighting. I love you all.